morning, all of you. I hope you all are well and busy in your studies. Okay, let's see. In yesterday class, we started with the protocols and we studied some protocols. First one is your TCP, then IP, okay, then FTP, FTPP, HTTP, and Telnet. Till here we done in yesterday class. Now, as I told you, protocols are very important, and the question will definitely come in CBSE. 2 or 3 question comes from this topic itself. Okay, 1 mark or 2 mark, whatever. Now, next is our GCM protocol. GCM is Global System for Mobile Communication. It's just a digital mobile telephony system that digitize and compress data. As you all see that if you have to open something on desktop and on mobile, the same thing. For mobile, the different app is designed because they compress. If you open same website on a mobile, they will ask that if you open on mobile, that please open on mobile app. Okay, like I will give you an example. Bank of Baroda, if you open on desktop, BOB, but if you open on mobile, they will M mobile. Okay, M for mobile, MBOB. That means MBOB is for mobile, because they have to compress. Our mobile screen is small, so they have to compress the data and then send it down a channel with two other streams of data, streams of user data, and each in its own time slow. Now, if from where GSM come, it came from the Asia for using a mobile phone. Okay, so why we need GSM? The question comes, why we need the GSM protocol? To improve spectrum efficiency, fine, international roaming, low cost mobile sets and base station, high quality speech, and compatibility with ISDN and other telephony company, support for new services. So these are the why we need GSM, and this is about the GSM. Fine. Let's see the next protocol. Your next protocol is CDMA, very much important in the networking. Fine. CDMA, what's the full form of CDMA? It's just a code division multiple access. Okay, and CDMA, as the name suggests, code division multiple access. It is a digitized air interface standard and claiming 8 to 5 times the capacity of traditional analog cellular system. In CDMA, what happened? Each user, fine, I'm saying each user is separated by unique code. They allot a unique code. Suppose the node A will get a code 010 and node B will get 101. So here all users is separated by a unique code, and all user can share the same frequency band. They have a separate Unicode and have a same frequency band. Actually, CDMA is work on spread spectrum technology. Means that it spread the information contained in particular symbol of interest over a much greater bandwidth than the original one. Fine. Basically, in CDMA, why we need CDMA? In CDMA, actually there is a focus on the security. Okay, in military, if we use protocol, among which protocol we will use is between GSM and CDMA. In military, we will use CDMA because here security issue is very much important. If whatever data you are sending using this protocol, that will be secure. They gives you a security, and you can encode or decode data over this protocol. So this protocol used in military or defense, wherever the information security is very much important. So CDMA is very much important, and it has spread spectrum technology. And second things, it share on a same frequency. Fine. If information contained in a particular signal of interest over a much greater bandwidth than the original original signal. Okay, so as I told you, the CDMA is very much important for security. Now if someone asks what's the difference between GSM and CDMA, the main difference is that GSM use the technology TDMA. I'm again repeating TDMA, that is division multiple access. Okay, time division. And CDMA use spread spectrum technology. And second difference is that security. GSM, in GSM the data is secure when you encode data, fine. But CDMA has a capability, inbuilt capability. Whatever data you are sending, it will be sent in encoded form. तो GSM में हमें अपने से इनकोड करना पड़ता है, लेकिन CDMA में हमारा इनबिल्ट हमको जो भी डेटा हमारा सिग्नल पे जाएगा दैट इज सिक्योर डेटा. ओके, वो सिक्योर डेटा. तो सेकंड पॉइंट जो हुआ वो सिक्योरिटी हुआ, फाइन. तो जीएसएम और सीडीएमए में कोई भी डिफरेंस पूछे तो जीएसएम में हमें खुद से यूज़र को अपने आप से एनकोड करना, उसको क्या टेक्नोलॉजी लगानी है, सब कुछ सोचना पड़ेगा कि कैसे हम अपना डेटा को सिक्योर करें और कैसे उसको आगे सेंड करें. लेकिन सीडीएमए में ये जो हमारा सिक्योरिटी इशू है वो इनबिल्ट होता है. इस वजह से हमें कभी भी इनसिक्योरिटी अपनी इंफॉर्मेशन की लीक होने की या कोई भी ऐसी इनसिक्योरिटी नहीं होती. तो बेसिक मेन डिफरेंस यही है. और दूसरा मेन डिफरेंस है कि जो हमारा CDMA है वो स्प्रेड स्पेक्ट्रम टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करता है और GSM जो करता है TDMA यूज़ करता है, फाइन. तो इसमें डिफरेंस भी आता है, डोंट वरी, डिफरेंस मैंने तुम्हें बता दिया है, फाइन. नाउ नेक्स्ट सी GPRS, दैट इज जर्नल पैकेट रेडियो सर्विस. ओके, अब पूछा जाए कि भाई पैकेट स्विचिंग टेक्नोलॉजी क्या होती है. हम स्विचिंग टेक्नोलॉजी पहले ही पढ़ चुके हैं, फाइन. सर्किट स्विच पढ़ा था और पैकेट स्विच टेक्नोलॉजी वी ऑलरेडी स्टडीड अबाउट द पैकेट स्विचिंग. तो GPRS क्या होता है, हमारा पैकेट स्विचिंग टेक्नोलॉजी को यूज़ करता है, फाइन. अब इफ़ आई आस्क कि व्हाट इज़ पैकेट स्विचिंग टेक्नोलॉजी, पैकेट स्विचिंग में क्या होता है, हमें जो अगर हम सर्किट स्विचिंग और पैकेट स्विचिंग देखते हैं तो पैकेट स्विचिंग हमारी मच सिक्योर होती है, क्योंकि पैकेट स्विचिंग में यू हैव अ डेस्टिनेशन एड्रेस. ओके, सो इन पैकेट स्विचिंग यू नो वेयर यू हैव टू सेंड डेटा. बट सर्किट स्विचिंग में क्या होता था, वो डेटा सेंड करता रहता था, जो रिसीवर को रिसीव करना है वो रिसीवर रिसीव करता था. सो बहुत डिफ़िकल्टी होती थी. बट पैकेट स्विचिंग में ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है, फाइन. इसमें हमारे पास हर पैकेट के पास एड्रेस होता है. सो एड्रेस अकॉर्डिंग टू दैट एड्रेस दे विल सेंड द डेटा, फाइन. तो GPRS क्या होता है, पैकेट स्विचिंग टेक्नोलॉजी पे डिपेंड करता है और दैट अनेबल्स डेटा ट्रांसफर्स थ्रू सेलुलर नेटवर्क. वायरलेस टेक्नोलॉजी यूज़ करता है लाइक ओवर द वाईफाई और योर ब्लूटूथ. This kind of technology used in GPRS, and it is used for mobile internet, SMS and other data communication, fine. In the theory the speed limit of GPRS is 115 kbps, but in most network it is around 35 kbps, fine. Speed limit, it's a maximum limit 155, but most of the network are used 35 kbps. Now next let's see WLL, that is wireless local loop, fine. Wireless local loop protocol, and it is this protocol connects subscriber to the local telephone line station wirelessly, fine. If you take a example of your telephone that are placed at your home telephone system, but what happened there, you have a cable line. Okay, they are connected with a wire, so they are not wireless. But here WLL, that is wireless local loop system, that connects subscriber to local telephone station wirelessly. You can see here diagram. Here is your whatever fax, PC or telephone. Fine. This is your FSU, and this will the BTS. These are the signals where signal station. Fine, and they will hit to the these signal will hit to the stations, and then switch are used for this technology. Fine, let's see what is FSU, BSC and BTS. FSU is fixed subscriber unit. Fine. FSU is a fixed subscriber unit, whatever subscriber you are using as fax, PC or a telephone. And BSC is base station controller. Fine, where your signals and information all are controlled by the base station controller. And what is BTS? Trans receiver station. Base trans receiver station, they will receive your signal and send it further. Fine. So next is your mobile telecommunication technology. Fine, let's see it in syllabus, or this one just get cut it down. Wait a minute. Yeah, this is your syllabus. Fine, these protocol we already done some protocols. Yeah, mobile communication protocol is already there. Fine, and the telecommunication technology. Fine, now come to the mobile telecommunication technology. Actually in class 11th they deleted this syllabus, so I thought in class 12th might be. Now let's see mobile telecommunication technology. What is mobile communication technology? Whenever wireless generation is started, then the first thing come in a mind, that is mobile, because it works wirelessly. Fine, so when wireless generation started, it was analog communication. First of all, it's an analog communication, and analog communication when comes in first generation. You might be studied about these generation in your class 10th also. Okay, if I ask what is analog signal. Analog signal is like sine, cos. You might be studied in the maths also. Fine, they use various analog modulation for the data transfer. Now, when communication migrated from analog to digital, then that comes in the picture of 2G. Fine, that is second generation. First G technology is refers to the first generation of wireless telephone technology, mobile telecommunication, which was first introduced in 1980s and completed in early 90s, is first generation. Fine, and if we talk about the speed is 2.4 kbps, and it allow the calls in our country. Fine, and it use analog signal. So important points I am highlighting, some important points. When it started 1980s and completed in 1990s. Fine. Second, it's wireless. Third, speed is what 2.4 kbps, and analog signal, because we are in first technology we use analog signals, and some problems we face some problems due to the analog signals. Then we come to the second generation. Fine, and this was first launched in USA. Fine, first mobile was launched in the USA. What are the drawback? Obviously in analog signals there is a noise noise pollution is more in analog signals. Fine, so the poor voice quality, and the battery life is also poor, and that time phone size are large. Fine, and no security. If you in today's also, if you connect the call, sometimes call get disconnected to someone else. You dial the correct number, but the phone get connected to some other user. Fine, that thing is happen very much in that first generation. So no security is there, and limited capacity would be there, and poor handoff reliability. So these drawbacks, to overcome with these drawbacks, the second technology come, that is 2G technology. 2G technology refers to the second generation, which is based on GSM. Fine, which is based on GSM. As I told you about the GSM, second technology is based on the GSM. Fine. First technology based on analog signal, second on GSM, and it launched in Finland in the year 1991, and it used digital signal. Fine. And it started in year 19 in Finland. Yeah. And what the speed of this is 64 kbps. Fine. Yeah. Next is your what the feature in 2G technology. As I told you that it's based on the digital technology. So it enables services such as text message, picture message, MMS message. Fine. It enable these service, and here the quality is better than the first generation, and capacity also. But still there are some drawbacks in 2G generation, and 2G generation require digital signal to help mobile phone work. Here also sometimes happen, sometimes not sometime, most of the time it happens that no network. Okay, we face a lot of problem of network issue. Fine. if if there is no network coverage in a specific area, digital signals become weak. Fine. So this is very much drawback still we are facing today. Now, second one is handle. These systems are unable to handle complex such data such as videos. As 4G technology comes, videos are played in 4G technology very much. But if in the 2G, if you want to play a video, the data, the network issue will come, and we are not able to play the videos. Only simple text will be easily handled. Fine. Now, let's see the 3G technology. In 3G technology, it introduced in year 2000. Fine. Here, data transmission speed increased and become from 16 kbps, it become 144 to 2 mbps. So here the speed is this one, and in which year it comes? 2000. Fine. Okay. Now, typically called smartphones. We are using a smartphone still now, and feature increase its bandwidth. Here, what increase? The technology used in 2G. Here technology is same, but the speed increase, bandwidth increase, and data transfer rate is increased in 3G technology. Fine. So bandwidth and data transfer rate is increased to accommodate web-based application. Now in 3G technology you can play audio and video, but still you can play the videos, but they are like you not in proper way. Videos are still facing a problem. Now include features. What are the features? Providing faster communication. Yeah, if your speed is high, then you will have a high communication, faster communication would be there. Okay, you can send and receive large email messages. In email message you can send pictures, videos, and all the things. High speed web and more security, video conferencing, 3D gaming, TV streaming, mobile TV phone calls. Fine. And 11 second to 1.5 minute time to download, and 3 for mp3 songs. Fine. Now what are the drawbacks? The 3G is much expensive than 2G. First thing is expensive. Second, it was challenged to build the infrastructure of for 3G, because if you want the network should be greater, then what you have to put the signals, find your towers in each and every place. But as you all know, if putting towers in public area, it will be harmful, the radiations are harmful. So it is a big challenge to build the infrastructure for 3G. Now, high bandwidth requirement. Expensive 3G smartphones are expensive, and large cell phones. Fine, these are the drawbacks. Now come to the 4G technology we are using. Is fine. 4G technology refer or a short name of fourth generation, which are stated from late 2000. Here the speed is 100 Mbps to 1 Gbps. Fine. Speed is 100 Mbps to 1 Gbps, and basic on one of the basic term used to describe 4G is magic, but there is no magic because we are facing a lot of problem with the 4G also. Let's see what are the feature included in the 4G. Mobile multimedia, you can play audio, video, anything. Global mobile mobility support, like you can use map, or you can easily find track the person. Okay. Integrated wireless solution, customized personal services, and this 4G is also known as mobile broadband everywhere. The next generation of wireless technology that promise higher data rates and expanded multiple services. Speed is next issue. Security is high, fine, and low cost per bit. Now let's see the drawback. Battery uses is more in 4G battery. It we need a more high battery power. Okay, so that's why we are saying our battery get low. So battery uses is more, hard to implement. Second is hard to implement. How it's hard to implement, as I told you that it's quite difficult that putting tower. If you need a signal, proper signals, so from where signals come from the tower. Okay, but it's become very difficult to implement that. Next is need complicated hardware. Now next, expensive equipment required to implement next generation network. Let's see the difference, basic difference between the technology 3G and 4G. First of all, data transfer rate. Why? The data transfer rate in 3G is 3.1 MB per second, and in 4G 100 MB per second. Internet service here broadband, and in 4G ultra broadband. Mobile TV resolution is low in 3G but high in 4G. Bandwidth is 5 to 20 megahertz, here 100 megahertz. Now frequency is 1.6 to 2 gigahertz, here 2 to 8 gigahertz. Download and upload speed is 5.8 Mbps, and here 14 Mbps. So these are the basic difference. Today we will finish up here, and from next class we will see the next topic. So I am saying daily take out the time of 1 hour for computer, half an hour do your Python, maximum question of Python programming on Python. Okay, and another half an hour the daily lecture we are uploading. Let's see the lecture and study on that basis. And if we talk about the books, Sumit Arora with Python, some topics are more in Sumit Arora. So whenever you study any supplementary book, look at the syllabus. Whatever is in your syllabus, just study that topic. Otherwise, NCRT. If you study concentrately NCRT, then NCRT is more than enough. I will not prefer any other book. NCRT is more than enough. If you study hard, only for programming you can check out over the internet. Okay, so study hard and do your work on time, and have a good day.